I mean, providing a fully immersive digital experience that is completely live. Yeah, just too much data. I totally see what you're saying. But
I will tell you, sorry,
go ahead.
one more thing on that. I think the interesting technology is actually going to be how do you combine that and animation? So it's, humans are pretty well defined and understood. So if I'm able to get a volumetric capture of you, and I know like what outfit you're wearing, and then I can kind of define and say, here's your hairstyle, then if I treat it as a model plus animation data problem, that whole thing becomes a lot more efficient. Because now again, like I can give you the models up front, like you just load that, and then everything that I'm doing when I'm trying to capture live data is about what pose is that model in. And on my computer, I could actually just be simulating things like how's your clothing moving or how's your hair moving. So it might not be a perfect reconstruction, but it's good enough, and it's not like you're comparing it to live video and you're not going to notice that, gee, in the VR one is your hair flaps to the left and in the real world it flaps to the right.
That makes sense. I see. So, okay. Sorry, going back a little bit to the timeline here. So you see, let's just say 0 to 5 years approximately. How would you describe the developments of AR to perhaps MR within these key segments? Like entertainment adoption, gaming adoption, utility, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I think most of the focus at first, especially with headsets, will be about B2B. We'll see some niche kind of consumer gaming in the first couple years, and certainly some people will pay for it. And I think on the phone side, we're going to actually start seeing a lot of use cases being developed, but a lot of it's going to be more casual interactions in terms of when you actually need to use your phone. Mm-hmm. The interesting tipping point to me is probably like 3 to 5-ish years away when Samsung or Apple or Google even essentially develops companion glasses that you pair with your phone. And the idea would be that your phone is doing all the computing and the glasses are just about showing the image and showing the sounds. And they have battery in them, wireless transmitter, so you're not tethered. And that makes it so now you can go long form with some of these experiences. And when I think that happens, you'll see a tipping point on the consumer side of when this is suddenly incredibly compelling.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
The really interesting question, which I think is really more than 5 years away, is at what point is this good enough to actually start replacing screens and have you not feel like you're missing something?
Yeah. How long do you think that's going to take?
It depends a little bit on the screen. I think right now we are at the point where you could do a second screen experience with the mixed reality headset, especially with Magic Leap 1, and it would be reasonable. It's not going to be perfect because there's some dimming on the glasses, so they're not quite sunglasses, but they do make the world a little bit dimmer so that the holograms appear better. Yeah. And if you're looking at your screen with that, it's going to be at a different brightness than the virtual display, and that might be a little bit awkward. Right. But if you're doing things like, I just want a place to put my Photoshop palettes, and I want to be using my 13-inch laptop, it might actually be good enough that it works well. Yeah. Or even something as simple as, hey, I have my computer in the other room and I'm sitting here on the couch using Magic Leap 1 and I just want to pull up a remote window into my other computer and I have a Bluetooth keyboard handy that I can tether to it. I think it's going to be good enough for that type of use case. Right. The challenge is that when you look at all the stuff that goes into making the headsets better, so getting a wider field of view, getting a higher res image so that you can actually have the angular resolution to replace like a retina display or some of the things beyond that we're seeing. When you say